Here's just 3 driver takeaway tips that are going to help you hit straighter tee shots, hit longer tee shots, and more consistent tee shots. Who doesn't want more consistent tee shots? Tip number 1, and this is talking about trying to get your takeaway more on a path that might help you hit with a straighter club path. So less round here, less out here. Get it more on a kind of regular takeaway path. All you need is another ball. And what I want you to do is put this ball in line with where you want that ball to finish and a club width back. So my driver width back from the ball I'm going to hit to my demo ball. Now from here, when I set myself up, obviously parallel to these lines, when I take the club back and hit a position which is relatively neutral on my backswing, the head of this club covers the ball from my perspective. So let's say I'm someone who picks the club up. Let's say I go this way, the club is above that ball. If I'm someone who rolls, that club starts coming under that golf ball. Getting that club to cover that ball, not be over it, not be under it, is really good for working that club on a path that might encourage some better paths this way. And remember, this can be dynamic. Let's say you hit your best shots when you bring the club slightly more inside. Let's say that encourages more of an inside hit for you as personal to your movement and actions, because we're all slightly different. Then I would just move that ball 2 club heads inside. Put it wherever it works for you. Good standard base is to put it 1 club length behind if you want that neutral takeaway. But if you want to encourage different shapes, different club paths, you can move the ball to your perspective position subject to where you want it to be. So for me, I'm much more of an outside down the line because I'm a pretty neutral backswing player because I'm trying to hit quite neutral shots. That is a simple drill you can use at the range next time you're playing, just to demo that practice, start working on some straighter club paths. Idea number 2 is about controlling the club face. So if you're someone who takes the club back and starts fanning it open or hooding it closed, you're not getting a nice rotation of that club face. A great way to start self-diagnosing why that might be for you would be to get a handle on your takeaway. And the question is, which handle? So do you have an overriding hand that twists that club? So let's pretend you're someone who struggles with a strong right hand grip, trail hand grip, which is common. These people tend to turn the club under, so get it what they want to call closed, de-loft, hook, pulls and slices. So if you're someone who does it with the right hand only, so do the first movements of the takeaway and it feels more easy to hood that face, you might want to look at grips. You might want to think of different rotations in this arm as you go back. If you're someone with a weak lead hand, so you don't see many knuckles, like 1 knuckle to no knuckle on this hand, high through the palm, put it through your top hand, and if that makes it feel easy to roll that face open and harder to keep it squarer, straighter, then you want to be thinking about your top hand grip and maybe again different rotations in your top hand. And even for golfers who have a neutral grip, you know, you're in a decent position with your hands. Some people just have dominances in one hand, so when they've got their neutral grip and they take it back, it's actually the bottom hand that's forcing the club one way or the bottom hand that's forcing it another way. So making a few practice swings where you just use that takeaway position using both hands but one off the club. So you're going to trial both, right hand, trail hand first, lead hand next. For me, my takeaway, which feels quite neutral, I can feel real balance in both of them. I get loads of students where I say, just take it back with your trail hand, and you can see them just hooding the club, and then you say, take it back with your lead hand, and they get this nice kind of square, neutral feeling. You give them a feeling in their right hand, different grip, feel like your right hand's opening that face up on the way back to control the face. And what we do is identify the culprit, the issue, the hand that they need to concentrate on until that starts to balance. You can do this yourself. You can self-diagnose it by doing what I do with students, but concentrating on which one is turning that face as you take that club back. This will allow for you to get in more neutral takeaway positions with better club face control and allow you to practice without always having to book an expensive golf lesson. Self-diagnosis, best way to practice. Now, the last tip. This one definitely hurts golfers' brains because they've been taught long and slow, deliberate takeaways for years. For most amateur golfers, what we see is a pattern of their hand speed as they take the club away being really slow and deliberate, which then makes them increase into the speed, into the backswing, having this kind of bounce back, which often causes this. What we see from the world's best is we see their hand speed picking up, reaching max speed around here. So they ramp up the speed in their hands, they pull it back quite quick with their hands to slow down into their backswing, to then speed up, to then slow down with their hands to speed up the club. Just pause or rewind that bit and listen to me again if that didn't go in, because unfortunately on all these apps you've got loads of golf pros, golf pro term is so loose these days, saying the complete opposite to that. But this is measured facts from gears, like it's not debatable. Anyone who knows this. So watch that bit again if that didn't make sense. I want you to feel that the takeaway, yes, is quicker. Easiest way to do that is to start from in front of the ball and get that momentum into that takeaway, rather than these really slow, deliberate, spinning the face, turning it behind you backswings, which also gets the order of downswing completely mixed up. Practice swing, club out in front of you, about say 2 foot out in front of you, whip it back quite quick and then through. That will change the order of the speeds of your backswing, which will change the control of your backswing. And guess what? That will lead to longer, straighter, booming drives like that. 3 simple backswing tips if you want to find out how to hit your driver longer. You're not in it long enough. This video's got all the information you're going to need to hit bombs like that one.